my name is Christina. My husband and I have 7 children, and we have homeschooled them 8 out of the last 9 years. Last year we sent them, and just like everyone else, ended up with virtual school. And then looking at what our year was going to be, we just went ahead and chose to homeschool them again, which is perfectly fine. My husband serves in our military, and so we move every 2.5 to 3 years. And we knew that we were going to be moving during a pandemic. It was just time for us to PCS. And so not knowing what that was going to look like, kind of have a little bit like anxiety and stress that went into that. But we managed to make it through. We got here about a month before my husband, about a month before our furniture. And so that always opposes its challenges of trying to have a household of 7 kids and animals and nothing really to do because the house is empty. But at the beginning of the pandemic, my husband and I had kind of sat down with our kids and had talked about really what it was going to kind of look like. And a lot of it was that you were not going to really be able to connect physically with people, see your friends. Knowing that we were going to be moving and we were already leaving friends behind and not knowing what it was going to look like when we got to our new home, we really wanted them to have something that they were going to take out of this pandemic. And so my husband was like, I want y'all to just like find something, whether that was like a new skill, diving deeper into an interest they already had. He wanted them to invest in themselves during this pandemic. And so what a better time when we're not running around for things and to do things, to really be able to like grow as a person in learning that. So that's what they all did. They all kind of took it by the horns, and they've really grown and they've blossomed. And when the pandemic is over, it's not like this is what I missed out on, but this is what I learned. This is something I can apply in life. And so as a parent, like super awesome to see them and what their interests were and how they have just grown so much in that. So we have one that did art, has always been into art, and really took on painting and like figurine painting and doll painting. So that's been super cool. One who is into like, she enjoyed baking, and she like went the whole cake decorating. Like, what is involved with that? Why you use gel versus like a regular food dye? Like, it was insane. And like the chemistry that's involved with baking. And then our oldest son never really enjoyed reading, but he has read through series and he enjoys it. And it's allowed him to research and learn other things that he's really interested in. So that has been really cool to see. My husband really dove into more on leadership, and which has been great for his role currently. And then our 4 little ones, you know, they have all taken an interest in something. And their investment into themselves is not necessarily like what it looks like for the rest of us, but maybe into each other. And they kind of like all enjoy that. So one day the kids are like, well, Mom, what is your thing? And I was kind of like thrown off by it. And I was like, what do you mean? What's mine? They're like, well, how are you growing? Like, how are you changing? How are you investing into yourself? And part of me was like, well, I'm Mom. Like, I cook and I clean, and, you know, I enjoy building some of the furniture that we have in our home. And so I wasn't really sure like what they were getting at. And so after like really kind of thinking about it, I was like, well, where is mine? Where am I investing in myself? So at the end of the pandemic, I can say, well, I didn't make the household run, but this is what I learned. This is what I learned about myself. And that is where these videos come into play. When school's getting started, I had a lot of moms reaching out, just wondering like how homeschool works, maybe the pros and the cons of it. And it was always like so rewarding to be able to like share that information, not because what works for us is going to work for their family, because every family is different and you have to find out what works best for your own home, but to just be able to share like, this is what we've experienced, this is what's worked best for us, and you can take that and you can apply it, or you can just try to find your way. And so just knowing that it's okay, that you can give yourself a little bit of grace, and that it doesn't have to be perfect, and that, you know, we're all human. And so you wake up, you do the best that you can, you tuck yourself into bed, you give yourself some grace, and you try your best the next day. And I, as parents, as mother, this like, that's all we can do. And so as I was doing that, and as I was like trying to answer my children into how I was going to grow as a person, it just kind of like God was speaking in a way of like, you can minister to them, you can share, you can bless, you can encourage, and you can take your life experiences and share them. That again, maybe someone can take something that's worked for us and apply that to them, or maybe all they need is that word of encouragement that it is okay. Life is going to be okay, that they are doing the best that they can, and they are going to be okay. As moms, I don't think we hear it enough, even as parents, that, you know, you are not in this alone. And the one thing I learned from the pandemic or COVID or any of it is that, you know, there's a lot of lonely people, and there's times where even in a house of 9 humans, you can feel lonely, and you can feel like maybe you're not living up to your expectation of like what standard you've set for yourself. And I know I've struggled with that. And so being able to vlog and be able to share that has really been like a weight lifted off. And it's a skill that I've learned. I've learned to be comfortable in front of the camera. I've learned to edit, and that is something that I can take on with me. So at the end of the pandemic, I can say that I learned a new skill, and that the whole year of being at home didn't just go to waste. So upcoming, we are starting with All on Christmas. So what does Christmas look like in a house full of 9 people, and what works for us? How do we manage to get through the holiday season with sanity and joyfulness and little to no stress? I just say not a whole lot of things stress me out, but the holidays can. And I think there was a time in my life where they did, until I really just wrapped it and took it and was like, no more, we're done. Our youngest son was born right around Thanksgiving, and it gave me a whole new perspective of what that holiday should look like. And so I was blessed that year to really be able to enjoy the holiday. And after experiencing that, I told my kids, there's no more insanity of the holiday season. Like, we are going to enjoy this time as a family, and we're going to enjoy this time with one another, and we're not going to stress about it. So I hope that y'all liked it. If you do, subscribe, and look forward to just connecting with all of you. I think this is going to be a lot of fun. So thanks again for watching. Until next time.